Welcome. We are doing this design right here using everything from my shop at 𝐭 shop. I'm 𝐭 and welcome to our online nail art class. So for this design, the first step will be the background, which is milky. So this is my old label of milky. And this is my new label, milky. They're both the same. I just like to improve my label because in my label, I like to include like smooth application so you know its uniqueness, and then pigment friendly because you can apply pigment on milky, and of course it's TEMA free and TPO free. So I like to include little detail like that for you. But what milky is non-stick. If you ever work with milky gel and it's sticky, this will solve your problem. I hate it every time that I have a gel that really sticky because it's gonna waste so much of my time. I have to stroke the nail over and over and over. Like a 10-minute application, it will take me like 15 minutes or even 20 minutes of application if I just keep finessing with it. So that's why I make this milky to what is stick free. Here this. And I need like 2 more nails. So apply on here. Make sure you have a perfect amount. Then stroke it down on the side. And then from the cuticle, you go all the way through the other side. And cure this 60 seconds. Last one. Again, over the nail, make sure you have appropriate amount. And then work the cuticle, go on this side, going all the way down, and go on to the other side. Start from the cuticle all the way down. Cure 60 seconds. Now, if you want, you can always go back and do another layer if you're working with clear nail. On your client, you don't have to do that. On your client, they either have natural nail or acrylic. Either way, the nail bed gonna be in the way. It's not gonna be crystal clear. But on press on, I most likely do 2 coats because it's crystal clear. So it have more coverage. Milky are not a full coverage gel, it's a semi-transparent gel. So your nail can be natural. Like that, all the way through. Cure this. And I am doing the last nails. And we're ready for the next step. Paint all the way through. Okay, cure this. All 60 second cure. Every single one of my product is 60 seconds. So that is a story of milky. Let's put it back. Now this jelly and this tips and this candy cane pattern, I'm using red art gels. So I'm gonna take a red art gel and selected my brush. I am using 10mm for line, 7mm for details or shorter lines, and embossed brush for color. And then I have ombre brush to blend. Now, another thing that I want to tell you is, you see how white and pure this milky is? If your milky, if you apply multiple layers and then you put on top coat and it seems a little off, like a little off white, it's not as white, know that it's a special thing about the ingredient of milky that is always a little off until like about 5 minutes later. It's returned to a pure white state. I don't know why, it's just a thing that milky have. It happened to every single milky. It's like that. It's a little off and then it's white again for like after about 5 minutes. Just something you need to know, just in case your client asks. Now I need to draw a cherry first. So red art gels, I am using 7mm detail first to draw a cherry. Okay, roll it from side to side and stroke it out. And this one gonna be on top is a circle. And inside is little hum like this. Like a play where the stem go. Okay, and another one down here. Just like this. All the way through like this. Okay, don't forget that little hum. And then you're gonna color it. Let's use the emboss brush. Actually, since it's short, I'm gonna use the coloring brush. Okay, I'm taking the coloring brush and paint it through like this. Emboss brush is just longer than the coloring brush. Sometimes you need coloring brush, sometimes you need emboss brush. Just depend on the spacing and the type of line that you do. When you draw lines that are thick, I will use emboss brush. Coloring brush is not for drawing lines, it's for filling or for soaking in top coat so you can secure your crystal when you apply crystal on your nails. So different purpose, but in the same family. Okay, now after I'm done with the cherry, I'm gonna cure this 60 seconds. I am going to go ahead and draw the candy cane. So I need 10mm liners. Twirl from side to side and draw out your candy cane pattern. So from the top, go straight, a straight slanted line. Okay, same thing here, a straight slanted line. Just like that. And then you extend and downward. Just soft curve downward. Okay, same up here. Curve upward. Easy enough. And you can color in just to see the whole thing first. You can just go ahead and color. You might find that it's might make things a little easier, so you don't get confused on a bunch of lines, you know. Okay, same thing here. Give it a proper spacing. You're gonna have a little bead in between, so give it proper spacing. About here, same things. Slant, slant, like that. And then run all the way in here, downward. Run all the way in here, downward. Same thing up here. Go up, run all the way up here. Curve upward. Okay, same thing here, all the way up here. And then curve upward, just like that. There you go. And then go ahead and color in. And you can just draw a whole bunch of lines and then color at the same time. However you like. Before, when I do a bunch of lines and then I color in the same time, sometimes I color the wrong spot. Just because that's way too many lines. So just in case you have the same issue, Now curve and curve. Same thing here. Curve and curve here. Okay. Then colors. See how using different brush might make everything go really smooth for you. Cure this and you're done with these nails. Move on to the next nail. We're gonna do a French tip. Again, 10mm liners. Establish where the base is, about right here. This is the middle. Okay. Then you can use the 10mm liner if you want. You can switch to the 20 if you're doing like a deep French. It just depends. If 10mm liner is easy, then stay there. And if it's hard, then you can switch. Long lines. Just because when I curve, sometimes I accidentally apply too much pressure and it changes my curve. You cannot do that with the 20mm. 20mm, if you press a little bit, it doesn't change anything. It's not sensitive to your hand pressure. So when it comes to French, it might be fabulous. You might love it. You might fall in love with the 20mm with French, especially deep French. Just like that. Now I'm using the coloring brush to fill. Before, after I'm done with this, if I use liner brush, after I'm done, I have to get like a oval brush, or a flat brush to stroke it down. Cause I couldn't do all that with a liner brush, but now I'm just keep using an emboss brush. It can do thick line or it can fill. I love emboss brush. It's one of my fan favorite. Okay, fill everything in. After you fill, you can see slight imperfection if there are any. Like this side, I believe that I can go in a little bit to make it symmetrical there. It's very hard for if you don't feel it. But when you feel it, you can see the silhouette very well. And you might be able to go in and adjust it. See, now it's perfect. Cure this. You'll be surprised by how many people want to learn deep French or just French in general. Just got a lot of people ask for French. Now, you might wonder, oh, Tino, why is your red so beautiful? It's because I'm using this. Stained glass gel number 14. My favorite red stained glass gel. Put it out here. Okay, so number 14. And it's time for pen and papers. So, this is what a cherry look like for now. Okay. So, you want to go in with stained glass gels. Let me go ahead and take out an emboss brush. And so, imagine it's all red. You want to go in with stained glass gels and you want to do a little curve right here. Okay. And you want to shape that curve. Okay, shade it out. Just like that. Because that's where the stem is. See the dimension? And then after you cure and everything, then you go back and go over on one side. And then you're gonna blend it out. Of course, with an ombre brush, but you get the concept. So that's how you shade it. Because the nail is way too tiny for me to show you. So that's why I'm showing you on paper so you know. Okay, one of this, one of this, ombre brush, And if you have too much gel, you might end up having to wipe up excess gels onto a paper towels. Okay, you cure this, and then you go in with this, and you need an actual brush this time. We're gonna do a little ombre using stained glass gel, thin, very thin coat. Okay, ombre brush. Make sure it's clean. On just the edge, you're gonna blend it out. There, here. Now this is a little tricky. Okay, so you want to blend toward the middle. So I'm gonna paint a little bit on the top first. And I'll do the same thing in every lines. Every stripe, I'll paint a little line of stained glass gel number 14 right on top. Okay, now take your ombre brush, yes, your ombre brush, and just blend it toward the centers. Just like that. Now, I need to show you on pen and paper. Okay. So this is a stripe, okay, because it's so narrow. When you have your stained glass gel on here, you will not blend like this. You will not start at the edge and just blend like this. Instead, I'm blending it out, but like that, like I'm flowing with the pattern a little bit too. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, back to the nails. So hopefully now you understand my patterns. And my ombre brush is amazing when it comes to this. Okay, go ahead and cure this. An ombre brush that only have a few hair. Let me draw it out so you know. Okay, an ombre brush that only have a few hair, which most of them are like that. It's only have like, it's solid right here, and then it have like a few hair out. You might be able to blend the entire nail, like the tips of the fringe. You might be able to do that. But if you want to do any tricky detail, you can't, because you have to use the entire brush. And it might work on a tip like this. But on like a cherry or like this, if you use your entire brush, it's gonna be a mess. It's gonna go out of line. So you have to use the edge of your brush. See, this is the entire brush. This is just the edge of your brush. So to blend small detail, especially those sway lines, I only use the edge of my brush. But it's impossible for you to use the edge of your brush if it look like this. So this is what my brush look like. So this is what makes it special. It's like this all the way through. So even if you use a tiny bit of this, it's qualified because it have a lot of hair. It's not solid, but the hair are very consistent. This is a one-of-a-kind brush, I'm telling you. It's amazing. And the reason why I apply on a stripe like this is because now it's dry, so I can go back and do the bottom there all at once. On the bottom, this on the bottom. Just like that. And ombre brush. Now, if you don't want to blend up, which I don't want to blend up, it's insane. I'm turning my hand over like this. You clean hand like that. Tell them to turn over like this so you can blend down. It's more comfortable for you. And now when you see me brushing it, now you know what I'm talking about when I only use a tip of my brush. See? And then the pattern of me brushing too is slanted. It's not like this, but it's like this. Hear this. I know that I'm not flowing with this neither, because that's not blending, that's just going along. I'm not going out, but I'm not flowing. I'm sort of going out and down, out and down. So somewhere in between. Now it's time for me to do the cherry. So I'm gonna keep it at this zoom level so you can see a little closer. This already clear, by the way, so I can pen right through it. Over here and over here. Then you can go ahead and blend it out. Just like that. Just going down. Okay. It's very hard for you to imagine the blend pattern if you don't have this ombre brush. Because if you have a regular ombre brush, it would not work like this. But if you have this ombre brush, you know what I'm talking about. You can experiment with all kind of blend patterns. And after you're done, you can cure this. Okay, now come to the next step. So, since I have bead along this side right here, I will bead first. And same go for the cherry. I bead first. So I can top coat it at the same time. So let's go ahead and take out number 1 gel for beading. Clear texture gels. Amazing for beading. It makes sure everything stays still. It's very difficult if you don't bead a lot. But if you're a beader and you ever work with builder gel and when you bead, the bead slip and slide, it's never become a perfect straight lines, then you might want to try this. You will never go back. Once you go texture gel, you will never go back. Now, you're gonna take out a liner brush, 10 millimeter. Gonna wipe up excess gels. I do that with all my brush. Wipe up excess gels. And I'm gonna take out brush conditioning cleanser. And then clean. And then wipe up excess oil. And these oil are very safe with gel. It's gel friendly. So it can clean your brush and condition it at the same time. Oh, and if you ever buy a brush and you wonder where is a lid, that's a lid right there. It can compact your brush. So you can put it into your little purse. You can take it out, put it right here, and start painting. Now, 10 millimeter liners. I'm going in here. I'm making these lines. And I suggest that you take our tool and just scoop a little bit of texture gel out and put it right on here. And then close the lid. Because if you have a certain lining that is really strong, just a specific lining, not all light, but some light, it can start curing the clear texture gel, so you don't want that. Okay, Now take this and this, put this aside. Go ahead and draw these little lines. And all beader need to pay attention, especially the ones that are struggling with beading. Pay very close attention. Anybody that want to bead and struggle with it, it don't work for you, watch closely. So I'm painting a little line of gels out wherever I want my bead to go. Okay, then I'm gonna do this to the stem of the cherry. Go all the way up from here. And then from here, take a little line going out. Okay, now I'm retying that brush and use an emboss brush. Dip into clear texture gels, and you either want to wipe it up with a paper towel or you just want to stroke it on the nail art palette, because you don't want a lot of gel. You just want it to be wet and sticky, but not caked up with gels. Now, the type of bead that I use is 0.8 millimeters. I am going to start picking up the bead and apply, but not all the way to the edge. Just about like this. See, if you turn the nail this way, you can see that there is a lot of spacing left, okay? But if you turn the nail this way, you can see that the bead is right at the edge. If you take in the same side bead and keep on going, then when you turn like this, it's gonna be so bulky right here, because the bead are big. So what happened is we're gonna use smaller bead on the side. 6 millimeter. So the side look more flattering. It's still gonna bulge out, but not as much. It will look better. Now, our beader need to pay very close attention to my beading. Now, your client hand, you probably want to place the triangle tray that have your bead. You probably want to place right underneath her nails, so you don't have to reach anywhere far. See, distance matter, especially when you work with hundreds and hundreds of beads. And as you can see here, it's very efficient the way I bead, because the moment I pick up a bead, I place it down, it stick there right away. It because a couple of combination. Number one is my clear texture gels. It can stick very well to bead because of its consistency. It's not a liquidy consistency. It's a thick consistency, but very smooth to draw with. Very smooth to draw with, but it's not thin. It stay very still. Okay, between this. And number two is the amount of gel on my brush. See, I don't have a lot of gel on my brush. So when I pick up a bead, I only pick up one bead. If you have a lot of gel in your brush, you pick up a whole bunch. And when I place my bead down to the surface of the where the clear texture gel is, it let go immediately. See? Let go. See that? Now, if you are a beader, and when you are doing this, if your bead have difficulty of sticking to the surface, if it just hold on to your brush, that means you have too much gel on your brush. So don't have a lot of gel on your brush. It will be a lot easier for you to pick up bead and release the bead. And look at my lines. See how perfect my line is? People that doesn't bead will have no idea what I'm talking about. They'll be like, what do you mean how perfect it is? Of course it has to be perfect, right? You ever work with bead, you know it starts to move on you right away. You using the wrong gel, it starts to move. It starts to be out of place. It's not going to stay this perfect. I have worked with bead for a long time and I've been through it all. I understand all the struggle and headache that people go through in the bead world. And in the crystal world, it's very close together. When you work with bead, you work with crystal. Okay. See how perfect it is? Everything stays still. Oh, and it drives people crazy when I'm doing this. Ready? When I turn it upside down and shake it. See, turn it upside down and shake it. It's crazy. People freaking out when I do this. Look at this. Perfection. It doesn't move. See that? Now, you probably want to lower the size of your beads into a much smaller size. Don't ever dip it into the jar. You always pull it out from a triangle tray like this. Because if you have wet gel that you dip it in the jar, the bead gonna stuck to your jar. And when you pick up bead, it's gonna be difficult for you to pick up a certain kind of bead. Maybe if you have like 100 bead in your jar and only 20 of them are stuck in your jar, when you pick up bead, thing might go well for the first minute, and then you might pick up a bead that you might have a bead that refuse to pick up, and that's gonna slow you down quite a bit because you have to stop. It doesn't go smooth. You want everything to go smoothly when you work with beads. You don't have time to stop and trying to like free the bead up from sticking to the jar. You don't have time for that. You want to just pick it up and release, pick up and release. Everything goes smoothly. That's how you work with bead efficiently. So don't stick your brush into the jar. And then if you have bead that stuck together, it's even worse. Like out of 100 bead, if you have like 3 or 4 pair that stuck together, guess what? When you pick that up, you have to like try to free them apart. You have to try to like break them apart. That's number one. But other than that, you also like stopping your process. You have to stop. Like see, here I keep on going. Constantly keep going. If I have to pause for like just 5 seconds just to fix something, it's gonna affect my time greatly. If you ever practice typing test, you know. Whenever I practice typing back in the old day, when I'm impatient and I try to type like really, really fast. Oh, just by the way, if you have a bead that spill, know that my bead are very high quality. It's not made out of plastic, it's made out of metal. So you can always do this and it will suck up all your beads. Just want you to know that. But I'm talking about typing. So whenever I type, if I want to be really fast, but I'm not focusing, I'm just moving my finger really fast and I make mistake, just to do a few backspace and then type again. Just a couple of that. You figure it only take a few seconds for you to going backspace and then type again, right? No, it affect my typing speed greatly. Like if my normal typing speed is 35, when I waste a few seconds to do backspace and type again, which is a few incident of that. From 35, it can go down to 25 greatly. But I notice when I focus and maybe go a little slower, but focus not to make mistake, then my speed 35, it could be like 33 or 34, but it's not too far off. So you don't want to make mistake. Just like when you're beating, you want everything to go smoothly. You don't want to stop and fight with a beat. It's going to affect your time. Because after you separate a beat, you have to regain your focus, your flow, before you can pick up this again. You can pick up this workflow again. So be very careful of how you pick up your beat, where you distribute your beat, so they don't get stuck together. There's a lot going into this. But see, everything just goes smoothly. It doesn't seem that hard for beat, and believe it or not, but I hate beat in the beginning. I hate it because I spend so much time but not efficiently. I spend so much time and my line never turn out pretty. It's always a little crooked here and there. After I work with beat, I always have sweat rolling down my forehead. It's awful. But since the day I have clear texture gels, it changed everything. I love beating now. It looks so expensive. It just makes the design way better. And if you never tried clear texture gel before, you're not gonna be convinced. Especially if you play with beat. If you play with beat, you're gonna have nightmare. You're gonna have PTSD after beat. But trust me, ask people that try texture gel before, and you're seeing it right now. You're seeing it right now. Just like that. Oh, there's a couple beat right here. It fell down for some reason. See that? It's wonderful. Shake, shake, shake. It's just wonderful. Look at that. That changed my beat game entirely. I love beat now just because of that. This gel. It's so perfect. Look at that. Perfect. Everything stays still. Here, this 60 seconds. So, I am going to mat everything. Okay, so this is matted. Okay, there's many way of sealing bead, but this is one of the way, and it's very efficient. Is you beading before you top coat, and now you top coat. Matte or shine, it up to you, but I use this strategy a lot when it comes to matte. You can do shine too. But what I'm doing is I am stroking it down and over the bead. And it's going to seal your bead. And the number one concern will probably be, well, is it make the bead not shiny? Yeah, but you can always shine it back up with Shine It. Okay, here this. Same thing with these nails. Just stroke it down, just like this. Just like that. Okay, here it is. And you also want to put matte on this too. Over here. And shine just the tips. This nail is a little different than the other nails. So put matte over everything. I know some of you might try this. You might try to paint just the nail bed, and then the tip you might take shine top coat and paint just the tips. That's gonna create a little groove right here in the middle, and it's very unattractive. So when you top coat everything to make sure that it's consistency. Cure this 60 seconds. These are done. Go ahead and take this out. Now, all you do is shine this, shine top coat on the bead and put 3D jelly or embossed gel on to the red to make it pop. But before all that going on, you need to take a paper towels and you need to take some acetone or alcohol. I use acetone. And you just need to wipe the surface. Now, the surface is no wipe, so why do I wipe it? Because a velvet surface, when you put top coat on, it might shrink the top coat because the top coat doesn't absorb into the velvet surface very well, so it stays on top. It's not going to chip, but it might shrink your top coat. And a good example that I will give you will be if you have a velvet shirt or a suede shirt, and you accidentally spill some water on it, it did not soak into your shirt. The water droplet will stay on top of your shirt. You ever have that happen? Where you have a velvet or a suede shirt and you drop some water on and you can literally see these tiny little droplets just stay right onto the velvet surface. It's because the velvet surface are staticky. So the water just, it shrink the water puddle into a droplet, a perfect little droplet, and it just stay there. Same thing will happen to your top coat. It would just kind of shrink it. So when you're doing this, it eliminates that problem. Now, I want to take shiny top coat and I want to distribute it out on a palette like this. And let's go ahead and do the bead first. So you take coloring brush out. Coloring brush soak into top coat much better than a liner brush. And you just want to paint the bead and it becomes shiny again. You don't want too much gel because you're not sealing the bead. It's already sealed. You just touch it like that. Have minimum amount of gel on your brush and touch it lightly and go all the way through. See, go fast, don't go slow. Cure this. It's only slow when you're trying to seal the bead, to seal the line with a liner brush like this, and you need to go slow to make sure you have appropriate amount of gel on it. But these are just shining, it's just tracing. Go fast. Cure this. And then for this, I'm not using the coloring brush, it's too short. I'm using an emboss brush. And I am taking top coat. Remember, I'm going to put a lot right here. There's a lot right there. And then I'm just carefully trace along the edge. Carefully trace along the edge. Then I'm taking Shanded, the brush in the bottle, and I'm brushing it down like this. Cure this. We're done with top coat. This is my Shanded top coat. We're done with it. Now the next step is to make these 3Ds. So I need embossed, clear embossed gels. So first I'm taking this out. I am putting just a little bit onto here, just a tiny bit, not much. And I'm using either a coloring brush or emboss brush. I would say use emboss brush. And I'm going in and I'm using that tiny bit amount of gel just to make sure that it covers everything. I'm going along the edge to make sure that it's flush against the edge well. If you use a lot of gel, you wouldn't be able to do this. Make sure that you paint it right at the edge to cover the entire perimeter. And then after this, leave the gels wet and you're taking this and now you give it a good squeeze and flow out of it. You don't need to try to make it go against the edge because you already have a layer, a wet gel layer underneath it. It will help you even it out. You just need to drag it out like this. And if you want, you can add even more to make it thicker. See, this part is not a part where you try to draw. This part is just for you to add gel in to make it bulky. And the slip layer underneath will take care of distributing the gel out. You don't have to do it manually. So this step right here will make your process a lot easier. Go ahead and cure this. That's also another thing about embossed gel or 3D jelly. You don't want to just leave it there. It's cell level. So it's going to continue to run out and even out itself. So you want to go ahead and cure as soon as possible and work on another thing like this. This one, I am painting over the cherry and leave the cherry pit alone. Where the stem is, I'm leaving it out. I'm just painting around it like a eclipse, like an eclipse moon. Okay, now I am going to go ahead and squeeze out extra gels right here. Squeeze out. The more you squeeze out, the bigger your cherry gonna be. Just like that. Oh, this is my favorite part. I never do a 3D gel cherry using gels. I always do like using Play-Doh, like molding a 3D cherry. Not as satisfying as this. This you can shade, you can blend. I like this a lot more. Hear this? On to the next lines. Just like this, just a little bit. Okay. Go ahead and even it out. Even it out, just like this. Same thing here, down here, just flush it against the edge. Okay, and now squeeze it out. See, before I'm not a big fan of this kind of thing neither. Until I know how to separate these two steps, it becomes funner. Hear this. But when I first started, just because no one teach me, I don't know how to separate the steps. So I go in with a crazy big bead of gels. And then I try to like finesse that bead toward it can completely cover the whole perimeter of the design. Never work. It's awful. It's always kind of a misshape and all that. So now I know. Just use minimum amount of gel to draw first. Make sure that the whole cherry is completely covered. Then you go in with a big bead. That make it a lot funner because it's easy now. See, now this bead, I don't have to finesse this bead. I can just try my best to apply right in the center and it all flow out perfectly. You might use your brush to like help it a little bit in the narrow area to help guide it out. And that's it. Cure this. And then I'm taking this down to my last lines. There you go. And brush it out just like this. Brush this out. Okay. Then squeeze it right into the center. Okay. And then you might take your brush to help it go down and then go up. And then here. So, what's left is this peppermint pattern. I'm gonna draw this pattern out. I already would shine it right here onto the tips. Now the jelly is just 3D jelly. It don't it's just a clear embossed gel. It don't have shined it. And it doesn't need any top coat on the clear embossed gel. But you're gonna pour glitter on this. And for glitter, I like to use top coat to separate the glitter to stop it from sticking. Sometimes it will stick onto embossed jelly just a little bit, but it can be very annoying. So you want to eliminate that problem by just top coating the clear embossed gel so the glitter doesn't try to stick on the surface. Glitter don't stick to sanded for some reason. Sometimes it's certain no wipe ingredient is also glitter also stick to it. So just want to give you an advice so it's not annoy you. When your design, it's important to have fun and not stressed about anything. Okay, after you filled it with top coat, I'm using the coloring brush, by the way. Cure this. Let me take out a pen and paper and draw a peppermint pattern for you to show you how tragic it is for me before I discover how to finesse this pattern to what is work better for me. But before, I will go in, draw a little curve, and draw a little curve. Easy so far. And draw in a little curve. And at this point, it's already get a little funny. Well, it doesn't look that bad. I have way too many practice. Let me try it again. Let me try to make it bad. Somehow perfect. If you work with peppermint pattern before, you probably doesn't need me to do this. You probably already know that it can be an absolute hot mess if you doesn't have a plan. Like it's never even. You know what I mean? It's never even, or it's always curved a little off. There's just no structure to it. And then you always end up have to like wipe away a curve to redo it just because it looks so bad. So anyway, it's refused to become bad for me. But as long as you know that if you have problem with peppermint patterns, then there is a way for you to fix it. Like this. One line, two line. Okay. These are straight lines. Should be easy, right? One curve. And this going in the middle. Curve in the middle. Okay. So you're going to do that all across this, like this. One curve, one curve, one curve. Right in the middle, curve out, curve out, curve out. Guarantee perfection. Guarantee perfection. Let me color it in so you can see. And then from there, you can draw whatever you like in the middles. If you ever have a bad peppermint pattern, if you ever struggle with it, this is the way to go. I can't draw a bad peppermint pattern anymore to save my life. From the day I developed this formula, it just automatically become perfect for me. I try to make it bad, but it's not. It's perfect. Use this strategy. Align. Okay, so one side gonna be curved here. Let me do just one line. One side is from here to here, a slight curve. The other is start in the middle. Okay, it's not starting down here. If you go down here, it's way off. Start right here. Curve out. Okay, and then you go all around. It's time to draw. Take our 𝐌𝐢𝐥𝐥. Scoop it out. Art gel can soak into glitter very well. And wipe it out. Now, what brush to use? I am using 10mm liners. go over here. Okay, mark your center. Okay. One curve. I'm no longer drawing the line. I just imagine the line. I'm no longer drawing it. See, like that. But I'm just no longer doing that. It has become easy for me now. See, when I'm doing this, I'm just doing the opposite thing on the other side. And then I'm drawing line in between just because we can. Drawing line in between. If you want, you might want to color the little block first before you draw this line, because it's gonna get pretty confusing. Okay, and then I'm gonna line these two so it's even and perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna use emboss brush. Go ahead and clean this a little bit and take it out. Fill it in. See, it look crazy right now. When do you see it's filled? Fill it in over here and over here. And over here. Don't color the wrong spot. Okay. Okay, all the way in. Okay. Now pour glitter on it. So I am using Unicorn Gliss Aqua, and I'm using the smallest size. Take it out. Okay. Then I'm taking out a triangle tray. It's important to have something really big. Take this, tilt it up. You want to tilt your nail so the glitter fall off, and tap it. Okay, knock off excess dust. Here, cherry, icicle. From here all the way down. From here, going down. Maybe a short one right here. Over here, going down. Maybe a little short one right here. And then, let's zoom in. And then, use minimum amount of gels going around this. Now don't look at the white. Look at the off-white in the background. You want to make sure that there's no edges. Make sure that it's smooth. Just like this. And go all around the edge right here. Make sure you smooth out all the edges. I'm gonna lower this a little bit so it contrasts with this one on this side. Icicle. Oh, actually, you might want to do like a small one. Why not? As long as it don't touch the jelly. Oh, and I forgot. Also, some up here. Cause it's snow, right? And it's falling down. You have to land on top of the cherry. Some snow right here. Some snow right here too. Look at that. There. Cure this. Oh wait. Don't cure this. Put glitter on and then cure this. I done that before too. Oh, this beautiful work. And just a moment of unfocusedness. I forgot to put glitter on. Then you can cry after that. Okay, go ahead and knock up the glitters. Go ahead and cure this. Now you want to put the glitter back. Be very careful, please. Glitter can be very messy. You might not know what I'm talking about unless you received the glitter bomb from someone before, like I did. And it explodes, into your clothing, into your office space, into your desk, and it was years and years later, you can always find a little piece of glitters. It never completely gone away. Okay, take this, dust it into the trash. Dust the table. Clean the tables. Now, take this out. Take this out. Voila. And that is how you do this set. And then bedazzle it. And then you're done. And don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube at 𝐴 And everything I use today is available in my shop at 𝐴𝐴𝐥𝐤𝐲.shop. And until next time, bye-bye.